Hello and welcome to What the F*** Just Happened Today, your essential guide to the daily shock and awe in national politics. I'm Joe Amditis. Let's get to it. It's Tuesday, May 30th, 2023. Welcome to day 861. Joe Biden and Kevin McCarthy reached an agreement in principle to lift the debt ceiling limit and prevent a default on the U.S. federal debt. The plan suspends the borrowing limit for 2 years, caps federal discretionary spending increases at 1%, and increases defense spending, although it limits it to about 3.5% each year. The legislation also includes new work requirements for certain social safety net programs. It claws back unspent COVID-19 relief funding, reduces IRS funding, reallocates funds from the Inflation Reduction Act, and streamlines the process for issuing federal permits for energy projects. As part of the debt ceiling agreement, the freeze on federal student loan payments will also end at the end of the summer, which is when the Education Department has been preparing to restart them. In order to avert a default, the Fiscal Responsibility Act still needs to be approved by both the House and the Senate and then signed into law by Biden before the Treasury Department's June 5th deadline. A vote in the House is expected as early as Wednesday night. Meanwhile, at least 20 conservative Republicans rejected the debt ceiling deal, with some members of the House Freedom Caucus threatening to force a vote to remove Kevin McCarthy as Speaker if it passes. Dan Bishop said McCarthy capitulated to Democrats and suggested that he plans to trigger the formal process to remove the Speaker. "I'm fed up with the lies. I'm fed up with the lack of courage, the cowardice," Bishop said, adding nobody could have done a worse job. Under new rules this year, a single Republican can bring a no-confidence vote to the floor to remove the House Speaker. Chip Roy, another member of the House Freedom Caucus, added, "Not one Republican should vote for this bill. We will continue to fight it today, tomorrow, and no matter what happens, there's going to be a reckoning about what just occurred unless we stop this bill by tomorrow." Several prominent conservative groups, meanwhile, publicly threatened to downgrade any Republican lawmaker who supports the bill. Moving on, the Texas House voted to impeach Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton over allegations of bribery and abuse of office. A Republican-led House General Investigating Committee filed 20 articles of impeachment against Paxton last week, citing a long-standing pattern of abuse of office and public trust, including alleged bribery and obstruction of justice. The investigation began after Paxton requested that the legislature pay the $3.3 million settlement from a whistleblower lawsuit filed against him. The Senate impeachment trial to determine whether Paxton should be permanently removed from office will start no later than August 28th. Ted Cruz called Paxton's impeachment a travesty. And finally, Trump's aides directed his attorney to not search Trump's Mar-a-Lago office for classified documents, despite a subpoena ordering Trump to return all documents still in his possession that were marked as classified. After Evan Corcoran completed his search of the Mar-a-Lago storage room and found 38 classified documents, he asked if he should search anywhere else. Several Trump aides waved him off, assuring him that no documents would be found there. Corcoran then handed over the documents to the DOJ and drafted an affidavit saying all the classified documents were turned over to the best of my knowledge. Corcoran had a fellow attorney, Christina Bobb, certify the letter, which attested to a diligent search. The FBI later recovered more than 100 classified documents at Mar-a-Lago, including some from Trump's office. In total, more than 300 classified documents were retrieved from Trump's Florida estate. And in the polls, Monmouth University says 63% of Republican voters believe Trump is their strongest chance to beat Biden in 2024, while 32% say another Republican candidate would be a stronger choice. That's all for now. You can find the links and sources for all of these stories on the main website. And as always, visit whatthefjusthappenedtoday.com for the latest news and headlines. Until next time, I'm Joe Amditis.